Hey tubes, David here, back at you with yet another computer video. This time around it's going to be on my current and main laptop. It's a bit older, but it works just fine. It's an Alienware M17X R4. It's got a couple weird quirks. Once in a while when it's completely cold or if I do a restart, the screen will act up a little bit, but I can usually get it to come back. And it's only an issue with the built-in screen. If I plug it into an external source, it's just fine. As you can see here, there's a Core i7 sticker in Windows 7. That's what it originally came with, but I'm currently booted into Ubuntu Studio 20.04 if I remember correctly. It's got a Core i7 3610QM, 32 gigs of RAM, a 240 gig Kingston SSD, a 60 gig, I believe it's a Toshiba SSD, as well as a 1 terabyte mechanical hard drive for storage. It's got a GTX 660M 2 gig for the video card. It's a bit older, but it works just fine. I may eventually see about upgrading it, even though it is a little expensive. And of course, as you can see, it's got a pretty fancy backlit keyboard. There is a singular key missing over here, but that's not really a big deal. I do have the key to put back there. It's just a bit of a pain in the butt, so I'm going to see about replacing that. And I am eventually going to see about replacing the battery in this thing, as it's a little worn. And as you can see, even the little media panel over here lights up, and the Alienware logo power button lights up. This little bit does light up as well. It's just because I have an external mouse plugged in, so it's off. And of course the speakers all light up. And the only other issue is, for whatever reason, the onboard sound doesn't work correctly in Linux, and sometimes I do have issues with it in Windows as well. So I picked up this little Vantech sound card. It's got plenty of inputs and outputs. They technically say it's a 7.1 surround card, but I think it's only virtual. As you can see, there's a headphone jack and all that stuff, as well as a couple SPDIFs on the back. One's an input, one's an output. Pretty fancy little sound card. I picked it up off Amazon for 40 bucks, and got a pair of Edifier R1280Ts for sound, because the speakers built into this thing are actually kind of broken. Well, I shouldn't say completely broken. They do work. It's just one of them's a little distorted and all that. I do have a parts machine I'm going to take apart eventually to put the speakers from in this. I do have it wired in right now. The Wi-Fi, I should say, works just fine, but where I'm close enough to be able to wire it in, I figured why not. And we've also got an external hard drive hooked up. It's got a regular line out or headphone combo jack for, like, say a headset like this, or that Red Dragon one I've got there. It's got a regular line in, and I believe it also can, or microphone, and I believe it also can do line in, and a mini Toslink connector, two USB 3s on this side, DisplayPort, HDMI out, and VGA as well, plus a RJ45 connector for 1 gig LAN. Of course, it's got a built-in trackpad. It works alright, but I find the sensitivity is a little crap. And of course, on this side, there's a card reader, optical drive, which is DVD and CD only. I thought maybe this one was Bluetooth, but I was wrong. HDMI input, which works by pushing a function key on the keyboard, and then that basically takes the HDMI in and feeds it to the screen. You can put anything that basically has an HDMI out into that. I've mostly done it with the Xbox, and it works quite well. It's a full HD 1080p screen, 60 hertz only. There is another model, if I remember correctly, that actually had a 120 hertz display. There is also an eSATA connector on this side, as well as two other USB 3. Picked this machine up a few months ago for a couple $100, and it's been really good to me. Like I said, the only major issue that it has is the screen's a little wonky once in a while, and the speakers are kind of toast, but other than that, it works great. Having 32 gigs of RAM is definitely a nice bonus, because that's plenty of RAM. I am eventually going to upgrade the storage in this as well. One of the SSDs is mSATA. That's up under the keyboard somewhere, if I remember correctly, so I'm going to maybe put one of those in there to use as a boot drive or even extra storage, and then a couple other regular SSDs, as this does have two 2.5-inch bays in the bottom. It also has Bluetooth built in, which is kind of nice, because I can pair up a Xbox controller or any Bluetooth device, although I prefer to wire in my controllers. Anyways, that's all for this little video. I just thought I'd show you my current laptop. Next thing to show you is this main tower of mine down here. It's a build I just finished a little more than a month ago, based around a i5-10600K. It's actually a pretty decent little build, quick and quiet, because it's got an NVMe SSD and everything in it. And of course, because it's cold here in Canada, we've even got the wood stove going. But anyways, that's all for now.